Hi everyone, so it hasn't been too long since my last 3DS collection update, but I feel like these last few months a lot has changed. So I just wanted to share a brief update of what my current collection looks like and sort of what my approach will be moving forward. For those of you who haven't seen my past video, I will just share briefly all of my 3DS games currently. Then I'm going to switch over to my spreadsheet. A few of you have asked me how I keep track of my collection, and so I do use my own spreadsheet, so I'll share a glimpse of what that looks like and kind of use that to guide how I'm going to go about 3DS collecting in these next few months. So I'm going to cut to sort of a bird's eye view of what my collection currently looks like. Though before I do that, I did want to say I finally picked up Kirby Planet Robobot this month. So I'm really happy to have this finally in the collection, and it's the standard North American edition, not the World Edition, thankfully. So I'm going to start off with some of my Nintendo first party titles. So all of my Kirby and Mario games. Then next are all of my Zelda titles and a few other first party Nintendo games, with the most recent acquisitions being Metroid Samus Returns and Kid Icarus Uprising. And then these are all of the Fire Emblem games, one of my most favorite franchises. And then next are all of my Square Enix games, and I'm still considering getting a new case for Bravely Default so that I would have the North American Standard Edition instead of the World Edition. And then following are all of my monster collecting games, so all of the blue case Pokemon games, and then the first two Yokai Watch games. And then here we have various larger launch edition boxes for JRPGs, and then Final Fantasy Curtain Call there. And here are all of my Shin Megami Tensei games on the 3DS, and I've been slowly going through them and enjoying them. Then here are some other Atlas titles and a few other JRPGs in my collection. Then here are the last of my Atlas titles with Etrian Odyssey and a few other games from various other genres. And then for this selection, we have a lot of simulator-like games, most of which have RPG elements in them. And then these are my two last games. So Tamagotchi Life is another simulation game, and then I did do an unboxing for Fragrant Story for anyone curious about that title. So here is my game collection spreadsheet, and this is my 3DS collection page. So I do have a tab for each different system that I collect for, and they all look briefly like this. So in the upper right, I like to tally up how many I own and how many I'm trying to get. As you see here, there are, I guess, 5 missing so far, and I'll kind of explain why there's just 5 there. And I also like to keep track of how many consoles I own. So I do own 3 at the moment. And for anyone who wants to recreate this, it's really easy to tally up your totals if that's something you're interested in doing. I like to use these check boxes. And so here, whenever I click on it, it updates here. So there's basically this function you could do count if, and this just describes all the check boxes, and if it's true, then it counts it as 1. So that's sort of how I go about tallying up my collection and getting an idea of what the numbers are. And for the details of my spreadsheet, I try to keep it simple. So I just like to have the title of the game, the release date, what edition I have. Here I kind of go back and forth if it's the developer or the publisher name I list here. I probably should be a little bit better at keeping that consistent. And then I sort of have what genre the game is. Again, it's just kind of a loose thing. Extras, if I wanted to make an extra note of if I maybe got the pre-order bonus or something. And then here I also like to keep track of ones that I've completed. So this squiggly sign just means that I've played it, but I haven't completely finished it yet, and I want to return back to it someday. Whereas the X here means that I've completed it. So you're going to see a lot of blank spaces in this column in particular because I picked up a lot of games this past year or two, and I just haven't gone around to play them yet. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. And so I have all the games that I own currently, check marked in this darker purple. I do have some rows that are grayed out, and that's mostly because I own them at the moment and I'm thinking of selling them. So I have this highlighted here for Virtue's Last Reward, the sequel to the Zero Escape visual novel. And I have this highlighted because I'm planning to buy the Vita version. And I try not to have multiple versions of the same game in my collection. So as we scroll down here, you'll notice that for the blank spaces, I have Animal Crossing New Leaf and Etrian Odyssey Untold, the Millennium Girl. both in orange. And so I have this color coded in orange because right now these are not very difficult to get around MSRP or less. So this is just kind of reminding myself that I probably should buy these before the price goes up. The further we scroll down here, we have Pucci and Yoshi's Woolly World. Again, you can get that around MSRP at the moment. This might change in a week or so, I'm trying to just find a good copy that's not a World Edition at the moment. And then we have Dragon Quest VII here, Fragments of the Forgotten. And this is highlighted in red because it's basically double or more than MSRP. And this is one of the top games I really want to have in my collection before I kind of label it as complete. And because this is slightly out of my price range at the moment, I do still have it on my kind of missing list here because I think I could get it on Amazon and kind of attack it with gift cards that I get and whittle down the price to something I'm a bit more comfortable paying. So that is my current strategy for some of the really expensive ones that you can still buy new on Amazon. And so I do regularly get a lot of Amazon gift cards for various things. My workplace often hands out gift cards for various activities each quarter. And so I've already racked up like I think $40 worth of gift cards. And I also get Amazon gift cards through the Microsoft Rewards program. So I think it's feasible to get at least Dragon Quest VII using this method before I think the prices will start to go even higher. Etrian Odyssey I also have shaded in red here, but I'm still a little bit uncertain whether or not I'm going to get it or not because it is well over $100 at the moment and who knows how much higher it's going to go. I really do like collecting those Atlas Launch Edition boxes, and it does come in that nice rectangular box. So that's part of the reason why I want it. And the other part is because I've been wanting to get into the Etrian Odyssey games and I don't want to miss out before they become impossible to find by the time I start playing those. But Dragon Quest VII is probably going to be my priority for this list of 5. Followed by the first Etrian Odyssey game and probably Animal Crossing New Leaf. And then I'll try to get Pucci's and Yoshi's Woolly World, and we'll see about Etrian Odyssey Nexus. And then down here you see that I have my systems listed. I do really want to get one more Japanese import special edition. I'm just waiting for the right condition and the right price before I snag that one. Then down here I have a very long list of maybes, and I'm using a similar color coding system as what I shared up above. Red being these are probably going to be out of my price range, but I would like to have them if possible. The games in the orange are more within my price range at the moment. I'm just still a little bit on the fence whether or not I want to get them. I think out of all these, I really probably want to get Shovel Knight, though I do know it's offered on other systems. So I'm still kind of going back and forth between getting it on 3DS and on the Nintendo Switch at the moment. Here's A Ruin is a Square Enix game that I've heard good things about, and you could get it I think around $25 right now on Amazon. So I've been eyeing it. I just haven't really committed if I really want to add it to my collection or not. Similarly with these Harvest Moon games, I did hear that these are probably the last good Harvest Moon games because the people who split off into Story of Seasons I think worked on both of these in part at least. So they're considered at least decent. I think out of both of these, I think A New Beginning is probably the one to get. So that one's still available on Video Games Plus and on Amazon, so I might try to snag that one eventually. Detective Pikachu I've heard decent things about. I'm not a huge Pokemon fanatic, but it does look like a cute game and a little bit different for the franchise, so that's why I'm considering it. Zelda Triforce Heroes, I sort of want to get, however I know you're supposed to play with people, and doing so with randoms on the online servers I heard is not fun, so I don't know who I'd play with, but I might try to snag a copy of that before it's too late. And then Codename Steam was a game that did really poorly in sales, so it's really easy to pick it up for $5, and it is by the people who make Fire Emblem Intelligent Systems, but I've heard mixed things from people who really like tactical games, whether or not it's worth getting. So that's why I'm still on the fence on that one. All these games that are in black are ones that I may consider, but they're definitely lower priority compared to all the other games that are shaded in a color. And then lastly here I added the new game that's going to be coming out through limited run games. It looks cute, but I'm still, again, well, on the fence whether or not I want to add it to my collection. So that's a little glimpse into my spreadsheet, and I think once I get those 5 games, I'm going to declare my collection complete. A few of those maybes may sneak into my collection at some point, but a few of those I think I'm just going to be priced out of. And the other ones, I'm not really sure when I'll get around to playing them. So that's what I've been trying to take more into consideration when it comes to forming my collection, because I've mentioned this before, I don't go for complete sets. I do try to just grab onto games that I think I will enjoy and have time to play in the future. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this update video and taking a glimpse into my spreadsheets. For a few of those games that I'm priced out physically, I'm thinking of just buying them on the eShop. So that was also why they were on that maybe section. But anyways, I'd love to hear the status of your guys' 3DS collections. Have you already completed your collection, or are you nearly there? And what are your plans moving forward, considering the eShop closure and how the prices just keep rising? I did mention this in another video that I do plan on making top 10 lists for the different consoles that I collect. So I do plan on doing a top 10 3DS game list sometime soon. I'm hoping to play a few more games before I settle with a top 10 list. But anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying your day, and until my next video, bye guys.